first off, hats off to Cal. I thought they played really well, especially in the first half. Sharman's done a really good job with that team. A team that averages 12 awards a game, we held them to 6. A team that goes to the free throw line 17 times a game, we held them to 5 there. Forced 22 turnovers. So did a lot of things when things were harder for us than they have been, right? We didn't shoot very well, obviously. They shot way above their average. We shot way below. But our guys really stuck together. So I appreciate how we won. I thought Renaya's charge in the third quarter was really a pivotal play. Obviously, Tisa coming in and giving us really valuable minutes. Nyla getting another double-double. Just a good win. We see how hard we have to play in the ACC, and this young team continues to. The university is going to make us better. So.
You said another way to win. It seems like you have to make the 3 quarters to win. But you had the third worst 3-point shooting game of the season and still won. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, it felt like it was the worst, right? I mean, 3 for 14. That's just not what we do. And so. The game calls for different things. We also played a much shorter roster than we usually play, and that's obviously never what we expect, given how much I trust our roster. So, every game's different. We have to be able to win in a variety of ways, and I'm really glad that we were able to get to the free throw line, to convert there, to really improve our 2-point percentage in the second half. And just made enough plays, quite honestly, defensively.
Overall, were you happy with the 3-point looks you guys have?
Yeah, I told them at halftime, I thought we made good decisions, we made quick decisions, and that's what I want us to be able to do. I thought we took open shots, shots that we typically make, and they didn't get gun shy. They kept going, and so they didn't turn them down, which is what we don't. Just like they were shooting 60% from 3, it's not what they do. We sort of know that numbers average out over time. But yeah, I liked our looks. I just thought there were about 5 possessions in the first half where we didn't defend the way we need to, and we were able to show them that at halftime, and they were able to clean that up.
What changed defensively in the fourth quarter when you only could hold 8?
Yeah.
You held them just 8 points.
Mm-hmm. Well, we came out of the second half and changed up our ball screen coverage, and so then our tags or our secondary defense was in a different spot, which was helpful. So that gave them a different look. We sprinkled in some of our zone, which gave them a different look. Because they were so in rhythm with what they were doing, and there was about kind of that first media timeout in the third quarter. When we got together as a group, I felt like there was a shift for them of like, okay, we've got our teeth sunk into this game, and it's not going to be a pretty one, and we're just going to grind it out. They did that.
Was there a change that you made when they went from 6 3-quarters in the first half to 1 in the second half?
Yeah, so we were playing really aggressively at the ball screen, and that forced us to have our secondary defender tag the big, and so we were kind of giving up the 3 there for a team that is not a huge part of their offense. So yeah, we changed up our ball screen coverage, also used a little bit more of our zone.
Courtney, going back to the first quarter, you guys came out great. You looked great. You were locked in, and second half of the first quarter, it just kind of, I don't want to say fell off a cliff. That seems a little harsh, but it's not.
No, it feels like that. Felt like that.
Completely inaccurate. What are you going to say to them, kind of get them to come out more even keeled and maybe not come out hot and then?
Yeah. Whenever you start that good, the hard part about that is anything that happens next. If it's not as easy or as good, it feels like, oh no, it feels like you're jumping off the cliff. And so. I actually, I have to watch it back, but I don't, as I told them at half, and I kind of stand with until I see it, I liked a lot of our looks in the first half, right? We just didn't make them. It was some of the defensive letdown that I didn't like. And part of that was how I was asking them to cover stuff, so I had to make an adjustment, and part of that was how they could finish plays. So it was kind of a 2-part problem there. And when they make, then we're taking the ball out of the net every time, right? And so there's also that grind. So, the Nyla and India and Renaya have a ton of experience, and I thought that they used their experience tonight to kind of weather this one.
No, you had 30 points in the last 2 games, 2 double-doubles. What's working well for you? Can you also talk about you played more at the 5 when Sierra came out. What's that dynamic looking like?
Yeah, I think when I said my yes to coming here, I think I said yes to a lot of things that I'm gonna be exposed to that are different than what I did at Louisville. So coming from being just the 5, now I'm doing a little bit of the 4 and the 5 and being able to adjust based off of who is in and who I'm in with. And that's kind of what I think has worked well to my game, is being able to adjust and kind of play off of where exactly I'm at and not letting that change, how I impact the game. So whether I'm in the 5, I do the same thing I would do as if I'm the 4, and if I'm the 4, I'll do the same thing as if I'm the 5. And I think it did take me a little bit to get adjusted to, if I have a 4 player guarding me, that doesn't change the fact that I can post up as a 4. And now that I've gotten into my rhythm with that, it's made my game a lot easier. So I think that's just really what is coming to fruition of why I'm scoring so well and doing so well. It's just I'm not really seeing like, oh, I'm the 4 now, oh gosh, what do I do? Oh, I'm the 5 now, what do I do? It's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna still play my game. I'm a 4, I'm gonna look for Sierra more. I'm the 5, and I look for my post-ups more. And me and Sierra also play off each other really well. We've gotten in a rhythm now of knowing what each other are good at and how we can find each other on the court. So
How do you treat? You guys had 10 layups in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
How do you get so many layups?
I think like we do a good job of sealing our opponents, and I think that's something as a post player you have to be really good at, because you're going to come against bigger girls, stronger girls, but it's all about the angles and the way you seal your player to get an open layup. And I think me and Sierra do a good job of that. So it doesn't matter who's throwing at us, we're able to angle and get the shots that we need no matter what. So, and we're able to find each other really well. We're great passers, and I think that again is something that kind of doesn't let, no matter who you throw at us.
Sort of been the next part of our offense, right? We shoot the ball so well, and Nyla was adjusting, and so we had to give her some time. And so we've asked our interior game to have more force, right? To have more force on the rim and force in the interior, and they're doing that, and that's helping our offense. So that when we have nights like this where we don't shoot it well, that's okay.
And then in India, obviously,
Yeah.
16 points, 6 assists,
4
4
steals.
steals. Foul trouble and a kind of tough game at BC, but she bought it in today.
Yeah. I mean, she had a tough game at BC because I took her out. You know, I think that game allowed us to have, rest these guys, given we have 3 games in a week out of the break. I don't know how that happened, but India is just a warrior. I mean, what she's meant to this program and how she's really grown as a player. I don't know who's the most improved player in college basketball, whether it's her or Sierra Toomey or even Layla Hull, but she's certainly in the conversation, and so it's easy to root for her. She's a two-way player and brought both ends tonight, which we needed, and I think we'll need a lot of times throughout the rest of the season.
You had a couple of extended scoreless streaks. How do you explain those runs like that?
Yeah, we sort of look at, when we go back to it, again, if their shot quality isn't good, then we'll address it. And really the timeouts were really never about that, I mean, Nyla Brooks, for example, she's 0 for 3 from 3. That's not her, right? You're not going to tell her not to shoot, right? And then you go back through the line, like Lainey Grant, 1 for 5. That's statistically not her. Those are good shots to take, right? Renaya, go right on down the line. So our shot quality is about pace of play. It's about ball movement. It's about closeouts. And if we like our shot quality, we live with the result. And I felt like our shot quality was good this night.
Let me ask you, do you like to bring in Arnasala off the bench and starting Renaya? How the rhythm of that works?
When Eve was sick coming out of Christmas, and so she didn't get to practice before BC, and so obviously that group, that other first group for the BC game went well, and so we stuck with it. I mean, Sunday I don't take this lightly. I really don't spend a lot of time thinking about who's going to start. So on Sunday, I don't know. I didn't know last night who was going to start. And I think obviously these are competitive kids, so I'm sure they care. But if you're going to compete, you're going to care about winning, right? And so, obviously when we're winning, things are working, and we'll figure out based on when we get a deep dive into Stanford, we'll figure out not only who the first group is, but also therefore what you bring off the bench, right? And at what time and with what combos. And so there were games where Nyla Harris didn't start, right? She still got double doubles, right? I mean, it's just sort of, we have to make sure that at the end of the day that North Carolina wins, and however that happens is I'm really focused on that.
Now, can you address the reset for the teams since the Louisville loss and how the teams progressed since then?
Yeah, I was able to speak to them before the Boston College game and just tell them, last time we had an ACC matchup, we lost. And I just wanted them to remember kind of how that tasted, and how the next game wasn't a conference game, so we couldn't redeem ourselves. We had to sit in that. And I think we did a good job of resetting, even going home and taking that time to look into our inner selves and see, okay, what can we do better? What can we bring back that kind of gives that refresh mindset? And yeah, I think we did a good job. We started out being really intentional in the BC game, and that kind of trickled on to how we played against Cal. But I think again, like it doesn't matter with their offense. Their offense, offensively, if you rely on their offense, it's like a roller coaster. Some games are gonna be good. Some games you can't make anything. But we really honed in our defensive schemes and really made sure that we just stuck together through it all. And I think that's just really what the motto is, just to stay together. So yeah.
Going off of that, what was you and the team's mindset going into the fourth when the game was still in reach and then you came out and got
Yeah. I think like Indy did a good job of just telling us like, come on, we gotta stay on their necks. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. We can't get tired. And CD was telling us, okay, we can use this time to rest up, but we're not going back out there tired. Just making sure we tell ourselves that like, obviously the fourth quarter, it's rough. Like you're tired. Your body's starting to get tired. Your body's starting to tell you, okay, let's let off the gas brake a little bit. But we wanted to win. We wanted to close out this day with a win, and that's what we did. And just stuck together. And I think that's just what describes our team. We're really gritty and we have perseverance.
Yeah.
I would say.
I would say India and Nyla they don't always get the credit that they have in terms of their leadership in school. You know, they lead by example, but they also use their voice at the right times, right? And I thought they were loud as players and loud in the huddles that we needed and expected.
You talk about your defense. You led the team with 5 steals.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. I didn't even know I did that. That's actually crazy to me. But yeah. I think again, having a player like India on my team, it kind of pushes me to learn from her, and seeing how relentless she is in the gaps and how nobody can really stop her on defense. Nobody can stop her on defense. Sorry. It's contagious, and you know when you see that, it makes it like, hey, I want to do that. And you know, CD says it all the time, like, who wants to join that party with India? And you know, I raised my hand to that, saying, you know what, I want to join with India. So yeah, she's really I'll give her a shout out with that. That's the reason why I have 5 steals. It was contagious.
How many charges did you take?
None. So yeah.
Is that Sunday?
Sunday? I took 1.
When's that?
Sunday. Sunday will I take?
Coming out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take 2. 3. 5.
Any other questions? Great, thanks.
Thanks.
everyone.
Thank you guys.
You